Welcome to Women's Sports Weekly, where women's sports happen every day, but we talk about it once a week. I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Danielle. Women's Sports Weekly is a podcast where we discuss the latest news, explore interesting stories, and share our love for women's sports. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at WomensSportsWeeklyPod. Follow us and rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Send us an email at WomensSportsWeeklyPod@gmail.com, and we may feature your email on our Listeners Experience Zone, The Les.
Do we look well rested?
I am not well rested at all, despite our week-long vacation that we are just getting back from.
I know I feel exhausted today, but I do think we look a little tan, so I think that helps. I think a tan instantly makes you hotter.
Agree. We were both pretty pale going into this trip.
And you're now wearing orange, so I feel like it's really bringing out maybe the tones.
You're saying I look orange?
No. Maybe some red tones.
According to our niece, Remy, I'm red.
Correct. She did say that you got a little burnt.
Yeah, which I did, which I always do when I am in the sun because I have very fair skin. And even though I lathered up on sunblock every day, can't really get away from it.
It was such a great vacation, though. Sunburn or not, I think we don't lay out a lot here in Colorado. So just having the opportunity to get to rest was so nice. My sister was like, was this a restful vacation for you guys? Because there's kids running around and there's a lot going on. But it really was a restful vacation for us, which was really, really nice to have.
Yeah, we only had one bad weather day. We were on the beach every other day. In the sun, I took several beach naps, which I never nap during the day, so that was lovely. And overall, it was just really good. Good time with family, and we have not been to the Jersey Shore in quite a while, so it was nice to get back there.
Yeah, my family goes down every year. My mom, my brother, my sister, their partners, their kids, and then my mom's side of the family goes down, and we all rent houses in the same area. So there's a ton of us down there. And when we're able to make it, which now we try to make it every other year, it's always such a great time. And this one I think was the best one yet. It was just a really, really nice week. The kids are getting to this fun age. We have one niece and 3 nephews. And the 3 older ones, they're getting to this fun age where they're starting to explore in the water and they're learning how to swim on their own. And they're taking chances and they want to go under, and it's one, really cool to watch them grow and face fears, and then 2, just they're at a fun age where we could play games with them and all of that good stuff. So that was really, really nice.
Yeah, I agree. They're at a very cute age, and yeah, I just wanted to take them home with us.
I know. Oh my gosh, should we tell the story about how we almost kidnapped a kid?
I wouldn't say we almost kidnapped a kid, but a kid was lost on the beach for quite a long time with the lifeguards, and we were like, should we just say that we're her moms?
Okay, but the kid wasn't lost. The mom was lost.
The kid found a family, and the family found the lifeguards for the kid, and yeah, mom was nowhere to be found. Or dad.
Mom or dad. Yes. Parents. Whatever. Nowhere to be found. And we only say mom because mom is eventually who came and got her. But for, I don't know, a long time, definitely over 5 minutes at the beach, this little girl, she was a toddler, was just at the lifeguard chair waiting for her parent to find her. And Danielle and I looked at each other and we were like, should we say she's ours? And she looks cute. We could take her.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, we are very happy she found her parents.
We are. But we would like a little kiddo.
Yes. The kids were a lot of fun. Definitely gave me some baby fever. So we'll see what happens with that.
For sure. We also got to celebrate your birthday. We got you a nice big cake. Too big of a cake.
Yes. You went a little hard on the cake, which I appreciate.
There was a cake debacle. I got too big of a cake one, an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. And then they told me it was going to be one price. And then it was $20 more when I picked it up, which I really did try to fight back and be like, no, I called yesterday. This is what they said. I would have not gotten cookies and cream, even though I know it's your favorite. If I'd known it would be $20 more.
Yeah, that's absurd.
And the cake was way too large. And even though we had a ton of people, it was like a cake for 100. And so it tasted delicious. But I was like, ugh. I also am not the best of talking my way out of things. Like, you know how some people are just so good at working their way through things. I have friends who, when we go to any kind of sporting event, they're able to talk to the person and be like, hey, there's no one sitting in section 100. Let me just go down there. That would never work for me.
Yeah. And you also try to get too much of everything. And your family always has so many desserts. So when I saw that you picked up the cake, and I was like, thank you. I know this was a very nice thing, so I didn't want to give you crap for it. But I'm like, Carolyn, your family always has a million desserts. You don't need to get the biggest cake that Dairy Queen sells. It's just an add-on to all the other desserts.
It said it served 20 people. And I was like, I think there's going to be more than 20 people at this party. So I was thinking it was less.
Yeah. Regardless, that cake is still in the freezer somewhere. I don't know if it will ever get finished, but I guess time will tell. Maybe next summer or in 2 summers when we're back, it will still be in Aunt Jackie and Aunt Joanne's fridge.
Aunt Joanne can eat an ice cream cake. So I'm sure it's getting slowly but surely, night by night, broken into. But yeah, it is just in a freezer down at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, we also had fun card games that we played. We went to a bar with live music one night. We went to the boardwalk. We really did do all the Jersey Shore things during this week.
It was really nice. So live music was awesome. The guy, actually, he played at my sister's wedding during cocktail hour, and then he happened to be at a bar at the Jersey Shore. We saw him. He was singing, playing guitar, and playing the drums with his feet.
Like an electronic drum set. It was so cool.
It was awesome. We went onto the boardwalk with the kids. They had so much fun. I went on a roller coaster. I used to be able to do roller coasters. It did one little twist flip, and then I was sick for the rest of the night, which was really interesting to see the whole boardwalk spinning on its side. And then we just got to eat so much good stuff.
Yes, lots of good food. I will say I kept up my running when we were there, but I think I ate more than I ran. So we ate a lot.
You definitely ran more miles than meals you ate.
I don't think so.
Danielle, you ran like...
No. I'm not trying to say this because of the running. Really, though, when I'm in Jersey, the food, it's just nonstop. And we go to the boardwalk and we get these pizza pies and the slices are like bigger than your heads. Yeah. It's wild.
And it's so delicious. And there's this ice cream, Coors ice cream, if you're from that area.
My biggest regret is I said I wanted Coors more than once on that trip, and I did not succeed.
And we just got full too much.
Yeah.
That was the problem. And then my sister's friend Diana brought bagels one day, and then I just ate bagels for the rest of the week. And
so good.
There's just something about New Jersey bagels that are so delicious. And we came back to Denver this past weekend, and we actually went to a new bagel place that opened up in Denver, and I was like, it's good. It's not anything like the bagels we had this past week. It just really isn't, and that's so sad to me. And you pay so much for like a specialty bagel here in Denver that you can get for, I don't know, $2 back in New Jersey. So yeah, I do have my biases. It was just such a nice week and such good family time, and I'm glad we got to do it together. Also, I just love being in the water, and I need to be in the water more. It was a great reminder of that, of like, as much as I say going for a hike, going out in nature here heals all, going in the ocean is like the most healing. I just love being there. I love the way it tastes. I love the way the waves move. I love everything about it.
Yeah, the water was great this week, and we were in there a lot, and I also love it. So it was awesome.
And then we wrapped up vacation, and vacation ended on a Saturday, and we weren't leaving until Sunday. So we drove back from the Jersey Shore. My mom pulled off, this is like the most New Jersey thing. My mom pulled off the Garden State Parkway at a Wawa and dropped us off. And then your sister, Amanda, came and picked us up. And then we went into Brooklyn to visit your other sister, Carly, and have a day in Brooklyn, which was like just this fun little add-on that we didn't know we were going to do at the beginning of the week. And then we were like, why don't we just go in for the day and explore and get some more good food and pizza and beer? And it was great.
Yeah, because they visited us on the beach at the beginning of vacation. They were like, you should come to Brooklyn on Saturday, and we made it work, and it was a lot of fun. And we don't get into Brooklyn a lot. Like whenever we're back here, we just typically stay in New Jersey. And I know my sister Carly always wants to show people around, so it was nice. There's a brewery, other half in Brooklyn, that is like a famous brewery, I guess. They have really good hazy IPAs. So some would say we drank too many tiny hazy IPAs.
I drank so many tiny beers.
We just had all these little tasters, but they were delicious. And yeah, it was a fun day to end the trip with them. So overall, it was great. We did wake up way too early on Sunday to get back to Denver after the trip. I am exhausted. Yeah. But it was well worth it.
It was. And also on this past Saturday, oh my gosh, I'm getting all my days confused. Vacation brain still. I got to see a friend from high school, Liz, and she came out, and we need to do a Brooklyn weekend because we have your sister in Brooklyn, and then I have so many friends in Brooklyn, and I just want to go to a WNBA game, just do only Brooklyn things and not tell anyone in New Jersey we're there unless they're going to come to Brooklyn to meet us.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule.
But it was a great trip. We're back. We're excited to give you some news, but please forgive our vacation brains. We'll get better as the month goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. It was much needed, and we are back. We are back and ready for our regularly scheduled programming.
Let's do it. Let's get into it. In WNBA news, let's talk about some movement that's happened across the league. So Kelsey Plum has been traded to the Phoenix Mercury. I noticed that I'm saying it weird because I have Mercury in my head and I'm like, it is Mercury, but now I don't know. My mouth is just not moving right anymore because I have too many versions of Mercury in my mind. Okay, the Los Angeles Sparks in this trade received Monique Okoa-Makani, a 2027 first round pick, and a 2028 second round pick for this trade. The Phoenix Mercury received Kelsey Plum. This trade was completed on August 2nd, right at the deadline. Kelsey Plum is a 5-time All-Star and 2-time WNBA champion, and this was only the 4th mid-season trade of an All-Star in WNBA history. Strange stat, but...
That is interesting. Yeah, I was honestly pretty shocked to hear that Kelsey was leaving, but it sounded like she wanted to go. So if that's what she wanted, then good for her.
Yeah, so this is interesting because Kelsey Plum was averaging a career best 23.9 points per game, but then she had an ankle lower leg injury that sidelined her. She also has one more year of her current contract, and that's how she got traded. So I think LA did this because they said, Kelsey has one more year and she's probably going to be a free agent because she came to LA thinking things were going to be a certain way and they're not. So if we trade her now and get some first round picks, we kind of cut off her leaving and then us having to find someone new. So this is definitely like a rebuild move for LA. And then from Phoenix perspective, they have the rest of this season, which is not that long, to convince Kelsey Plum, like when you enter free agency, you should want to stay here in Phoenix, which is an interesting move on their part. We'll see if it pans out, especially because they need to do a whole lot of winning if they want any chance to make it into the playoffs. And as I say that, I'm like, can they even mathematically do it? They have 14 more games to play this season, which is a wild statement to say, to try to convince her that she needs to stay in Phoenix. For the Mercury, though, they have a ton of people on the team: Kalia Copper, Alyssa Thomas, Dewana Bonner, and for some reason their offense is ranked near the bottom of the league. So adding Kelsey Plum is great. And then for LA, like I mentioned, they had the chance of possibly losing Kelsey Plum in free agency and getting nothing for it. And so within this, they get a 2027 first round pick, and this draft class that is probably going to be in 2027 is going to be stacked. So I actually think this is like a pretty strategic move on LA's part.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how all of this will pan out.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Juju Watkins in an LA Sparks jersey.
I'm sure she would love that, considering that's where she's from.
We'll see what happens. Also in trade news, Aneesah Morrow went from the Connecticut Sun to the Toronto Tempo. The Tempo received Aneesah Morrow, and Connecticut received the rights to Masha Kliundakova and a 2028 second round pick. So Masha is not currently here in the U.S. playing in the WNBA, but when she does return, then she will be with the Connecticut Sun. This was definitely a foundation builder for the Tempo. Aneesah Morrow is a beast on the rebounds. Yep. She's growing every year, and so we'll see. And I don't ever know what Connecticut's doing. They're going to Houston. Who knows what their plan is? And also, this isn't in our notes, but Brittany Griner and her wife Sherelle are getting a divorce, and that makes me so sad.
I know. That is sad.
When Brittany Griner was wrongfully detained in Russia, Sherelle did so much to get her out. And I don't know what happens behind closed doors. And I'm not saying it's anyone's fault or anything like that. I'm not going to even speculate about that. But in the documentary or in the book, I forget which one, Brittany Griner tells Sherelle, you can leave me. This is too much. This is crazy. I might be here for way too long. Yep. And Sherelle didn't. And I just thought that was like such a beautiful act of love. And it still is a beautiful act of love. But to see people you love break up is really hard. In a parasocial relationship, it's very difficult.
Yeah, it is. And like you said, you don't know what goes behind closed doors and don't know why it's happening, but it just sucks to see from an outsider perspective.
And we also need to recognize that there's a narrative that if your relationship ends, even if you've been together for 15, 10 years, a really long time, that it's somehow a failure. And I just want to dispel that, because any good time where you're both learning, and I know nothing about their relationship, but I like to think that maybe they're both leaving this better than they came in and having something. That's what I'm going to tell myself to help my parasocial anxiety. Okay, sorry, I went off track. Surprise, surprise. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about was actually not a trade, but is Betnijah Laney-Hamilton, who was on the New York Liberty. She was not traded during the trade deadline, but then was waived by the New York Liberty. She was waived on August 6th and then claimed by the Washington Mystics on August 8th. This is interesting because New York loves Betnijah Laney-Hamilton. They love her. T-shirts with her name on it.
Yep.
And so she has been having a rough couple of years. She got injured last year. She's been playing limited minutes ever since her return from the injury. When Chris DeMarco was asked about it before Betnijah Laney-Hamilton was waived, he was like, we really want to have Betnijah back playing with us, back getting her minutes. And it was like, well, you're in charge of that. Yeah. So I don't know. It felt weird. But then after she was waived, he had nothing but amazing things to say about her. So I don't really know what happened in New York, but I think Betnijah Laney-Hamilton wanted out. And this is another interesting move because by New York not trading her, they get nothing in return. So they give up a veteran two-way player for nothing, when they could have traded her to the Washington Mystics and probably gotten something in return. And the Washington Mystics are able to just swoop in and pick her up for a young team. The Washington Mystics have been playing incredibly well. And now they get this veteran on their squad. It just seems like such an amazing pickup for them.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure conversations were had, obviously, behind closed doors, but it is interesting in that why they would take that route.
Yeah, I don't know. I worry that New York is fumbling this one. You messed this up. You could have gotten something in return, and now you're not getting anything. Unless they didn't think the trade was fair. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. That's our WNBA news. We don't have much more to say about it, so I guess we should get into the NWSL.
Yeah, let's talk about the Gotham's win over the San Diego Wave. Gotham beat San Diego 1-0 last Friday on a goal from Jaden Shaw, which she scored at the 44th minute of the game. And this helped Gotham strengthen their hold on the number one spot. They are number one in the standings at the time of recording. This win only helped them. Shaw used to play for the San Diego Wave, so she did score against her former club. And she was assisted by rookie Jordan Dudley. So that was a big play for the two of them. And this was Shaw's fifth regular season goal and her first goal since May 16th, which feels odd.
Yeah, but you have a break in there, the FIFA break in there. But yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, so this gave Gotham a 3-game winning streak and a 7-game unbeaten streak. So they've been playing really well. Their overall record at the time of recording is 12-3-4. And they've only lost once since the month-long June pause, as you had just mentioned. So they've been really playing well the past couple weeks. And the last time these two teams played each other, San Diego Wave won. So this was kind of like a revenge game that Gotham was able to come back and win this one. And then you have goalie Ann Katrenberger, who made 3 saves. And this was her 9th shutout of the season, which is pretty damn good as a goalie.
She's one of the best goalies in the league, if not the best.
And overall, the Gotham's defense, which has also been huge, has 12 shutouts this season. So overall, Gotham has really been showing up and playing well.
And that is even like Emily Sonnet is out now with a knee injury for the rest of the season. Just ironclad defender. Hope she gets better soon and hope she takes care of herself. That's a shitty injury to get. But 12 shutouts is 12 shutouts.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Gotham is, it's worth saying, dealing with a lot of change at the moment. Their head coach is on parental leave. And as you just said, Emily Sonnet is out for the season with a knee injury. Then you have Esther Gonzalez, who her contract was mutually terminated and she wanted to step away from soccer to return back to Spain. And then you had Sam Kerr, who recently re-signed with Gotham's, and they also added Denise O'Sullivan and Meredith Speck.
Yeah, some good veterans there, and it seems like a lot of ebb and flow with Gotham. But also Gotham always just figures it out. I also think it's really cool that their head coach, Juan Carlos Amoros, is on parental leave. He's stepping away to be with his kid and said, this is like a joint thing that I do with my wife and I'm not going to not do that. And I think it just sends this really nice message of yeah, we all have families outside of this and we need to take care of those families and be present for them. And it's bigger than soccer. And I really love that.
Yeah, definitely. And then Gotham has also gotten some players back from injury, which has been great from them. You have Mandy Freeman, Brunina, and Taryn Torres. And Torres actually returned this past Friday after tearing her ACL last year. So this was making her first home game appearance since the injury. And she did receive a huge ovation when she returned to the field, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, and Gotham's also in this time where this is their last time they'll be playing in New Jersey, and then they're headed over to Queens. And so there's a lot of cool things, sad things, uplifting things happening all at once.
Yeah, and this was their first home match since May 31st, and there were severe thunderstorms and flooding around the stadium, and people still came out for the game.
That's wild because there were some crazy storms in the New Jersey area last week.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what Gotham does. Takeaway here is really that Gotham is and has been finding ways to keep winning despite different injuries, the changes with the coaches and roster turnover, and especially with Shaw's return, being able to score again. Her scoring is encouraging, and it will be interesting to see what they do in the second half of the season as we gear up and start thinking about playoffs.
I know. Also, this past week when we were on vacation, the Denver Summit had 3 home games in a row, which was so sad for us because we weren't actually here in Denver, and they're on the cusp of a potential playoff spot. I just really want them to make playoffs in their first year. We'll see what happens.
Same. That would be awesome.
Let's get into some updates this week.
Yes, we have Run Club this Thursday and every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time here in Denver at the 99ers Sports Bar. Each week we share a secret word, and if you share that word with the bartenders after a 3-mile run, you can get 50% off your first draft. The secret word this week is Liberty, and that is in honor of our last vacation that we just got back from on the East Coast and Liberty basketball.
Oh, okay. I did see the Statue of Liberty as we were headed into Brooklyn from far away. We also need to take this time to ask you to please rate and subscribe to our podcast. We love putting this podcast together and we want to continue to do it. So please rate, subscribe, give us a positive review, and share this podcast with the people you love. Thank you to everyone who has rated the podcast so far. If you send us a screenshot of your 5-star rating via Instagram or via email, we will send you a Women's Sports Weekly sticker for free in the mail.
All right. We are going to get into the Aces overtime win over the Fever. I feel like there's been a lot of WNBA news lately, a lot of things happening at the different games, but we did want to highlight this because the Aces came back to win this game, and Chelsea Gray needs to be recognized for her clutch 3-pointers, not once, but twice in this game to help them beat the Fever.
Yeah, this is our quarterly reminder that Chelsea Gray is an amazing point guard.
Yeah, just unbelievable. So the Aces ended up beating the Fever 86-84 in overtime. And as I mentioned, Chelsea Gray hit 2 buzzer beaters. So one was a 3-pointer buzzer beater to get them into overtime.
To tie.
Force overtime. To tie and get them into overtime. And the second, they were down 1 and she hit a buzzer beater 3 to win the game in overtime. Just unbelievable.
And this is at Indiana. So the background of her hitting the shot and her teammates being so excited, and then all of the Fever fans being hands on face, how did that happen twice, made me very happy.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And the first 3 that she got, the ball was jumbled in the air. The Fever almost secured it. Jackie Young was able to grab it and kick it out to the wing to Chelsea, who was able to hit that first three to send them into overtime. So even that, for them to even secure the ball in that moment, in that high stress moment, was pretty remarkable. And then obviously her second three as well. But let's get into the game a little more. So Caitlin Clark actually struggled a little bit in this game. I mean, she still had 20 points and 8 assists, but she did have 8 turnovers. And one of those turnovers came in the last seconds of the game when A'ja Wilson stole the ball from her and was able to get it up the court for the eventual game-winning 3 for Chelsea Gray. But Caitlin Clark also missed 2 free throws with 7 seconds left in regulation while Indiana was up by 3. So had one of those gone in, game would have essentially been over, most likely. And speaking of A'ja Wilson, so she had a huge steal at the end of the game. She also dominated the entire game. She had 26 points and 13 rebounds. And like I said, she had a huge defensive play at the end. And then Jackie Young was also a huge contributor to this game. She had 22 points. Within those 22 points, it was a franchise record of 15 straight points, spanning from the end of the first half and the start of the second. So she just went off for 15 points straight to help them come back from a 20-point first half deficit, which honestly is wild.
It is. And this is just like classic Las Vegas. They start things a little bit slow and then they just start pulling things together. And then they have so many amazing players. And so when things start gelling well together, it's like anybody can just do amazing things at any time.
Yeah, definitely. And Kelsey Mitchell had a huge game for the Fever, per usual. She had 28 points, and then you had Aaliyah Boston, who added 21 points and 12 rebounds, but it wasn't enough for them. And this is just another example of how good the Aces are and their championship experience and being able to be resilient in moments, to be down by 20 and to come back and just not give up on that game and to be able to eventually win and then have someone on your team hit 2 clutch shots to eventually help you win. You can't teach that experience.
Yeah. And Chelsea Gray does this as she does it in Unrivaled. She does it in the WNBA. She does it in her sleep. This just is who she is.
Yeah. And I'll be interested just to see how the rest of the season plays out with them, because they could win another championship.
I know.
They really could. And you just don't know until playoff play is just different. But I feel like things are clicking for them and they're looking really good.
Yeah. And I love that, we've talked about the Indiana Fever and I have feelings about it, but I love that Indiana Fever fans get to see a team like the Las Vegas Aces who are just like, yes, you can love Caitlin Clark, but you cannot not watch that game and be like, these women are amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's all I want to say about that.
Yeah, and that wraps up our episode for this week. We will talk about what we're looking forward to this coming week. Carolyn, what do you have for us?
Let's stay in the WNBA. So on Thursday, August 13th, the Washington Mystics play the Las Vegas Aces at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Prime. This Washington Mystics team looks good, so I'm excited to see them up against Las Vegas Aces. What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so I talked about Gotham today. I'm excited to see them play KC Current on Friday, August 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Prime. So should be a good game. We'll see if Gotham can keep this unbeaten streak alive. And yeah, more NWSL coming our way. So that is it for this week. We will see you next week on Women's Sports Weekly. In the meantime, watch women's sports and share the podcast with your friends. Rate and subscribe to the pod on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Thanks for joining us.